So in the ever-growing parade of celebrities making fools of themselves over an election that didn't go the way they wanted it to, Lady Gaga has staked her claim for most pathetic snowflake in an article she authored in Harper's Bazaar on what it's like to be a lady in today's world. Now, much of the article is devoted to role models in her life, particularly her deceased Aunt Joanne, who died before she was born, but nevertheless, according to Gaga, quote, "To me, Joanne was my hope and my faith. I always felt that I had somebody looking out for me, and I looked to her to protect me. As I've gotten older, I've also really looked to her to help understand myself." Well, that's a tad creepy, not to mention borderline delusional. Most people grow out of their imaginary friends in childhood. But with that as a background, she goes on to talk about the now infamous Access Hollywood tape. Quote, "I thought about Joanne as I was watching the news during the election about the scandal surrounding the Access Hollywood tape. Here we were in 2016, current year, and the fact that that sort of language that was being used to talk about women was everywhere, on TV, in politics, was eye-opening. I felt depressed and hurt by it, because that's what that kind of language does. Only if you're a special snowflake. Then I watched our incredible First Lady, Michelle Obama, talk in New Hampshire about how hurt she felt seeing it too. She talked about how women are often afraid to say anything because we're worried that we will appear weak, that we'll be told we're being over the top, dramatic, emotional. But we're not. We're fighting for our lives." Yeah, why would anyone accuse you of being over the top, dramatic and emotional when you, an unbelievably wealthy, young, famous pop star, living in the lap of luxury in the richest nation on earth, says she's fighting for her life? What a stunning lack of self-awareness. How can you even have a shred of credibility with a statement like that, considering there are women in the Middle East actually fighting for their lives against ISIS? As I've noted before, the inability of celebrities and the liberal elites to move outside their bubble, outside their echo chamber of fake outrage, is one of the reasons they were shocked by the election result, and evidence that they are out of touch with concerns of a large section of the population, a section of the population that they continually condescend to and dismiss as bigots. Could it be that a lot of people actually don't care too much about so-called locker room talk? Which is not to say that they condone what Donald Trump said, but are willing to overlook it because there are more important issues in their lives, such as immigration or job opportunities for the working class. Just consider the different attitudes of Trump and Clinton supporters, as measured by a Pew Research poll in the 2 weeks before the election. Survey participants were asked if they thought a number of different issues were a very big problem in the country today. When it came to sexism, more than 1 in 3 Clinton supporters thought it was a very big problem, whilst only 7% of Trump supporters said so. And whilst only 1 in 5 Trump supporters said racism was a very big problem, just over half of Clinton supporters thought so. In addition, 38% of Clinton supporters identified as feminists, compared to just 5% of Trump supporters, and 53% of Clinton supporters said they supported the Black Lives Matter movement, compared to just 6% of Trump voters. Could it be that the high percentage of Clinton supporters that embrace sexism and racism as big issues is because they listen to the mainstream media echo chamber that endlessly repeats the talking points of the grievance mongers, like Black Lives Matter, like feminists, and that Trump supporters aren't trapped in that same echo chamber, don't identify with these issues because they don't encounter them in their day-to-day lives, and get pissed off when they're told they're bigots for not agreeing with their moral superiors. As Bill Maher said,
Democrats have become, to a lot of Americans, a boutique party of fake outrage and social engineering, and they're not entirely wrong about that.
Now, the Harper's article doesn't have a comments section, but the story was picked up by other online sites, such as this one, which admittedly caters to conservatives, but their comments are very informative, particularly those from other women. Like Arlene, who says, "Never scared when a new president has been elected. These people are big snowflakes. Really need to grow up. This just goes to show when people have been handed a participation award, doesn't mean everyone is a winner. This is real life. Get over yourselves. November 8 was the election. It's over and done. Suck it up, buttercup, and move on with life." Well said. Karen, "You are an embarrassment." Frida, "You're brainless." Peggy Lou, "My Peggy Lou. That is ridiculous. Not this woman. I'm as happy as can be." Anna says, "Drop dead, Lady Gaga." Rochelle, "Lady Gag. Judy, "Totally untrue." Another Judy, "Gaga and Whoopi need to take a one-way to somewhere else." Candace, "Makes me sick. What are us women fighting? Lol, what are you really afraid of? Just shut up already." Robin, "Ridiculous." Brenda, "Now she has confirmed that she's a whack job, completely out of touch with reality." Can't argue with that. Mindy, "Lady Gaga, I'm surprised at you. You can show the way. Do you know how many girls look up to you? It does not matter who won for president. Please don't drink the Clinton Kool-Aid. Shine that light of yours." Good advice. Nina, "I'm a happy Latina. You do not speak for me. You need big-time psychotherapy, lady. Relocate to Afghanistan, then you can say you're fighting to survive. Go President Trump." Absolutely. Jody, "I like her voice, her quirkiness. She has a right to speak, but she needs to chill. I happen to support President Trump and look forward to real change." Lisa, "She's insane. Tammy, moronic. Eleanor, get off the crack." Sage advice there. Carolyn, "She's nuts. I'm a woman, no fighting here." Julie, "You're a horrible role model. Back off with your theatrics." Deborah, "She ain't no lady." Sharon, "Who cares what she thinks?" Judy, "What a joke. Little crybabies didn't get their way." Well, that about sums it up, doesn't it, really? Little crybabies that didn't get their way. Not strong, independent women. Emotionally weak, immature, reality-challenged little girls. Not the type of role models anyone should be pushing for their daughters.